So, Dr. Salim, I'm wondering if you could share a story of the impact that this team of influencers is having. Can you give us an example of how the Middle East North Africa Peace and Reconciliation Network team is making a difference in the region?
I think I'll give two examples. One example from Lebanon, from Dr. Martin Akkad and Shadin Hani, both in the team, that they have established organization, and also with the seminary, the Baptist seminary in Lebanon, in developing a program in order to bring the different communities in Lebanon. As you know, Lebanon is matrix of many ethnic religious community, and each community in its own, not reaching out to the others. So they are bringing people from the Muslim, Sunni, Shia, the Christians, different Christian groups to come together in order to mobilize young people, men and women, into impact into the larger society and also into the political arena in Lebanon. As we know, Lebanon is a very difficult political situation and fragmented quite a bit to tribes. So they are building that, and their impact is being felt in the community. The other work is of Musalaha. Musalaha means reconciliation, is an organization that established in Jerusalem. And in the last 30 years, the model of reconciliation, knowing what works and doesn't work, have been developed. And these models right now has been endorsed by many other non-Christian groups in our country, in the region. And also this model is being taught in many countries in the MENA region, and not only in the MENA region, Africa and Asia and many other countries. So just imagine and think about it in areas that look saturated with hatred and enmity and war, suddenly out of it. Years of labor, a model that has been developed that is working, beneficial, and blessing not only the church, but the larger society at all. And I think we, as Middle Eastern Christians in Lebanon and Israel, Palestine, we are proud that in our difficulties and pain and disasters, some of the young men and women, some of us rose to the challenge, and this challenge that right now is immense, but at the same time, with the help of God, we are bringing a model, effective, building peace for our people.
Thank you, Salim. And what I'm hearing, and the strength of the Middle East North Africa PRN team, is that it now brings together these different experiences, wisdom, the stories of transformation, and they begin to influence each other and raise up and release more of this reconciling strength across the church in the Middle East and North Africa, and then thereby to the world.
Yeah, the interesting aspect of it, as we sit with people from Sudan, Egypt, Tunisia, Lebanon, Jerusalem, and we sit together as a team, and we are learning from each other. But the unique aspect of this group, it is there are a high percentage of women, people that are coming from the larger Muslim society that found the Prince of Peace. We have professors, advocate, professional, and youth leaders coming together and saying, our situation, the stagnation of our area, the stagnation also by some of our churches. Some of our churches are trying to survive. Some of our churches are having difficulties, overwhelming work for the pastors' leaders, that we needed another avenues in order to promote peace and reconciliation. That's where we are doing. And that is, in certain areas, I think the MENA region are in the cutting edge of peace and reconciliation, not for us only, all around the world. So when we sit with people from other countries, the difficulty and the challenge that we found ourselves caused us to rise to the challenge that other places around the world are just beginning to come to it. So, so we can provide to people what we have learned in the last 30 years, so they should not repeat the mistakes and should not waste time. But more than anything else, I think I would like to say the realization that in Christ's event, the new creation, God is working in history, God changing the world. And the question is to many of us, are we joining what God is doing in reconciling the world to himself, the whole cosmos? What does that mean in the context of war crime, of genocide, of massacres, of killing? What it's mean when political powers are preventing peace? What it's mean when the church is paralyzed because of all those pressures? And what it's mean also when you look to help from the church around the world and you find that the church, to a large degree, silent, complacent, are not acting. So in it, we see the shift happening, major shift, that the voices of morality and spirituality, the prophetic voice is coming from the church in the Middle East, coming from the Southern Hemisphere, the church in Asia and Africa that are rising to the challenge. And we see that even recently with the South African going to the international court to present moral, ethical issues. And no doubt about it, it was also charged with a Christian message, the seeking in order to address the situation.
Thank you, Dr. Salim. It's wonderful.